What's up, guys? It's your boy Dali Amor.
And it's Ray Love.
And welcome to Trends
Talk 2.
That's right.
We have a new segment for you guys. And on today's topic, we're going to be chatting about the power of the mind. Very broad topic, but basically we want to kind of to single in on the power of thinking, like positive thinking, and also what to do when you're in a funk. Like, how do you get out of that? Because it's a terrible space it can be if you stay in that. And that's where the power of the mind comes in.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. So get ready, because we about to dive in. All right. So for me, when I think about when I'm in a funk about something, you have to be in the feelings because we all have to go through the emotions. But then it's like you have to make a plan that at least you're going to get to in like a day or two or a week or two, because you got to figure out how to get out of that. And for some people, it can be going out to the gym, it can be going out for a walk, it can be eating something, it could be making something, or taking up a hobby to distract their mind. Some people, they might need to just sit in the dark for a little bit. But at least you have the plan to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully I can get over what I'm going through at the moment. That's the way I look at it. What do you think?
Yeah. Me, I'm a person who's very, very big on community. So although there are many things that we can conquer on our own, like by ourselves, I think that the presence of like your friends and family, and even if you decide that you want to go and see someone professional to kind of talk through some things that maybe you consider either embarrassing or just something you just don't want to disclose to like a friend or a family member, I think that that's still a sense of community. You are then utilizing people in order to kind of, it's not too much escape, because you are trying to like actually deal with your situation so that you can move beyond it, or at least have better coping mechanisms in order to just keep conducting your life in a productive fashion. I think the sense of community does have a big impact on us getting through that much faster, because people need people. And with people needing people, I think that when you utilize this, it allows you to feel like, okay, so maybe I'm not alone in the situation. Maybe somebody else can also relate to something I'm going through, and then give me a bit of advice on how they've gotten to where they are right now due to similar circumstances.
That's a big thing.
I think it's really important.
It is important. I mean, everything you have to figure out what you were going to do, but also with the community, you have to make sure it's the right people you're surrounding yourself with.
Yes.
Because, some people, they have different perspectives. I think those people you need to be around, because sometimes whatever the situation is, you might think it was you might think it was the other person, you might think it's life, but sometimes you need different perspectives of how to view things. But if you go to one person and they're always negative, how you gonna get over something if you with the person that's negative? It's not gonna work.
Right. And I do understand when people are in a bad headspace, right? You are gonna kind of pan towards negative a lot easier because of the fact of where you are emotionally, where you are mentally. And I don't think that is a good way to deal with it with a person who is particularly negative, because not for nothing, when we think about how we solicit information and advice to our friends and stuff like that, if depending on what your background is, depending on who you are as a person, a lot of times we just want to make that person feel better, and whatever way that you think that that's going to accomplish that goal for both of you, that's the route that's going to be taken, versus like when I mentioned, if you go to a professional, that professional is going to give you information that's going to help you thrive, versus just giving you something that you want to hear that may not necessarily help you.
Right, that's true. And it's a lot to think about also when you're in that space, because sometimes you don't know where to go, and you really gotta, again, think about it, be in that space. I'm not trying to say you have to fight it, but sometimes you gotta fight yourself. Like, oh, I don't want to get up today. It's been 3 days. You need to shower. Like, it's starting to smell.
Heavy on
like it's starting to smell a little bit. So you really gotta fight yourself sometimes and reach out to people who care about you. And also you have to care about yourself too, because at the end of the day, you can get all the advice, you can listen to all the videos, you can watch all the motivational speakers, but if you don't do it yourself, it's a waste of time.
Right. And this is not to mix up the validation of needing someone to bring you happiness, right? It's is using an avenue to
Yeah.
help aid you into a better headspace, so that moving forward you can find the self-love
Yep.
that you're lacking in that moment, and also understanding that, you know, people, they play a role
Yeah.
in something, but they're not providing it to you.
Right.
You're providing yourself certain things when it comes to the self-care, self-love, and understanding that you can have this without another person necessarily needing to be a part
Yeah.
of that equation
Yeah.
in order for it to even happen in
Yeah.
the first place. So it's not to get that misconstrued, because I think that in a very unhealthy way, people do seek out others for love that they think that they need, versus having it already, and then
can't replace it.
having
You
someone
can't
else
replace
to
that,
kind of like basically
Fill the void,
share
yeah.
that with you or something like that, not necessarily provide it.
It's true. I mean, this topic, there's many layers, so we probably got to break it down and maybe make this into like a mini series or something, because there's many layers to this, and we could talk about this all day, of course.
Yeah.
Which we will. And also, if you guys have any topics you want us to discuss, please let us know. We're also going to introduce a new section where we read some emails or letters or whatever, or Instagram DMs. The title is going to be title came
Am
up
I
with
the jerk?
you know, it's only right that the person who came up with the title tells you the title. And basically, it's not to like pick on you or anything, but just to have a fun time. But also, sometimes you don't know if you were the jerk person in that situation. And if you weren't, you know, we're here to tell you. But if you were, sometimes you need somebody to tell you.
Also
And
going to be
it-
very,
you know.
very honest about
Right.
that.
That's what it is. So, and if you want to be anonymous, of course, we won't expose you or anything like that. But you know, submit those questions, those ideas, those scenarios that you've been through, and you want to see who you were in that situation.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you guys. It's gonna be a lot more. Thank you for the love and support. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Be happy.